What was your favourite moment in the Brendan Fraser mummy movies?
Oh, the shotgun scream, without a doubt. It's fairly well known by now that Tom Cruise is a crazy, egomaniacal asshole. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just actually going to script. Is there anything else? No, there's no defence. He's just an egomaniacal asshole with image issues, I should add. The latter of which Cruise has tried to address by appearing in dozens of movies over the years where he gets to pretend to have a massive penis.
Rich and ripe and out of your league.
Out of my league? Well, she just happened to be here checking me out the other night.
Perhaps the finest example of Cruise ego stroking came in 2017, when he basically rewrote the entirety of The Mummy to make it all about him.
So that movie sucked because Tom Cruise made it all about him.
Basically, yes, and there is a great breakdown by Variety where they pinpoint the moment Tom Cruise got involved with production as the moment it all started to go downhill. Because believe it or not, before Tom Cruise's involvement, the Mummy movie was going to be about the Mummy. And before we move on, can we just give a big shout out to the actor who plays the Mummy in the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies? Because I fucking love that guy. And I didn't realize.
He's my mummy.
The thing is though, he's a fucking workhorse, man. He's been in loads of shit over the years, but he's always like a side character, or he appears like one episode and fucks off. And I think I was randomly watching like an episode of like NCIS or something at home, and he's just there, like, it's the Mummy! It's the guy from The Mummy. He's in it for one episode, just disappears. It's like, oh man, he's working. I checked his IMDb page after the fact, because I thought his career just died. It's like, oh no, he just does like voiceover work and stuff now. And he was in like the game Stranglehold for some reason. It's like, you know what, mate? Your career, it's not like blossomed, but you've done good and you're working, and I respect that. Fucking well done, mate.
You also didn't have to pay like decades of divorce fees and alimony.
Yeah, go on. Oh, pour one out. God. Brendan Fraser escaped.
He's back, though.
He's back.
He's back.
He's back in the DC extended television universe, which is better than
is actually decent.
It's better than the fucking one. Brendan Fraser, I fucking love the dude. Like, what's your favourite Brendan Fraser role? Because he's either the guy from The Mummy or it's George of the Jungle. There's no choices. George of the Jungle is so fucking good. He's so good in that movie. Like, I like the bit where he gets delivered to Africa, just in a box, and he gets out, and he's got like Nike Airs or some shit, and he put and sprints through the fucking jungle to get all the way back. So that's product placement done fucking right.
So what was different about the early draft of The Mummy?
Well, Tom Cruise's eventual character, Nick Morton, in the original script for the movie had roughly equal screen time with, like, The Mummy, which makes sense. Obviously, they both have an arc that way, but that changed when Tom Cruise got involved and thought to himself, well, what does this movie about a mummy need more of? That's why it's Tom Cruise, isn't it? And he just basically put more Tom Cruise in the movie.
I get that Tom Cruise is a huge star.
Yeah, the man's box office dynamite.
What I don't get is why you would give so much power to one of your actors.
Because he agreed that in return for appearing in the movie at a much lower rate than his usual astronomical fee, he'd be given absolute creative control over every aspect of production, and also have the option to appear in any spin-offs. And it's like, well, fuck yeah, because we want to use the movie as a jumping off point for our own cinematic universe, called the Dark Universe, which me and Brad have shit on in the past many times, but suffice to say, it didn't fucking go anywhere. What's your favourite part of the clusterfuck that is the Dark Universe? 'Cause mine has to be that Universal Studios built a giant building dedicated to, nurturing and launching the Dark Universe. That's empty now, and reporters for, trade magazines are knocking on the windows and looking through, and there's nobody inside.
I think mine has to be the announcement they were going to get, was it Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man? Like, you're going to pay for one of the most recognisable and famous actors and have him be invisible.
Well, no, because that's the joke, isn't it? But you know what they'd do? Yeah. They'd make him so when he's invisible, he covers his face in white powder, like he does in every fucking movie he's in.
Just Johnny Depp in makeup.
We already did better fan casting for this movie, but we need to talk about the picture that Universal released. It's the picture that says, this is the Dark Universe. Look at all the big name actors we've got, and put it behind me. And it's 5 fucking actors, and I found out today that they couldn't even get all 5 of them in the same room on the same day, and it's a composite image, which is what?
That's not a real
It's
photo.
not a real image, no, and if you look at it, you can tell, because look what Russell Crowe's doing with his hand. Like his hand is just floating on nowhere because they obviously photoshopped something out or like took a photo of him as he was leaving the room because he didn't want to stay for the photo shoot.
I'd love if all of those pictures were during the like the interviews where they were trying to get them cast.
Yeah.
And they just randomly took a snapshot of them when they weren't looking.
They just Photoshop. Like, thing is though, Brad, now we've got that, I say we should like Photoshop in our fan castings because I feel bad looking at that picture. It's like, yeah, look at our amazing universe, and you compare it to like the Marvel Endgame cast photo that has like 400 people in it, and they managed to get every single actor back for a single day for that shot. Do you know what? We're going to save our Dark Universe Photoshop for the end and move on.
So what was it that Tom Cruise did that killed the movie?
Well, he didn't kill the movie, Brad. He killed the entire cinematic universe. Like, even Thanos could only kill half of one. Tom Cruise did it in one fucking fell swoop by being a huge asshole. And it's noted that from the before he's the ink on his signature on the contract had even dried, he began work to turn The Mummy into a by-the-numbers Tom Cruise action flick.
So what did he do then?
Well, according to the people unfortunate enough to have this bloated, fetid turd of a movie on their IMDb page, he just micromanaged every aspect of production to such an extent the director of the movie would sometimes stand there awkwardly just watching everything unfold as Tom Cruise in full costume barked orders to the cast and crew.
So he basically replaced the director without actually replacing the director?
No, like the director was there, like in spirit, basically. He was there for moral support.
He was there getting Tom Cruise tea.
Yeah, basically, he was there for moral support more than anything. And in addition to replacing the director, he also brought in his own team of script writers who went through the movie and made it more about him, which is why I'm presuming there were a lot of shots in that movie that make Tom Cruise look good. The most egregious being the one where he takes his shirt off and like multiple female characters go, "Oh my, look at that man. Look at this sparkling Adonis of a human being," because that's what people want to see in a movie starring one of the hottest women on the fucking planet.
Oh my God, Nick.
Jen.
So in a movie starring like Sofia Boutella, do you know what I want to see? I want to see Tom Cruise's saggy 56-year-old man abs. That's what I signed on to see. If they'd have just remade like the Brendan Fraser Mummy movies and just changed all the actors, I'd have been okay with that. Just because I want to see like Sofia Boutella just ham it the fuck up.
There's only one scene of her in that entire movie as an actual mummy. Like
Yeah.
she basically absorbs those guys working on the site, and that's it. From that point onwards, she's just mummy woman, but with like the occasional bandage hanging off her wrist.
Compared to like, the actor who played the mummy in the Brendan Fraser movies, who walked around like fucking half skeletonized in part of those
it took
fucking
him
things.
half that film or more to get his body parts back.
So what you're saying is he had an arc? Yeah, that's what he did. Well, this one didn't, because obviously Tom Cruise excised that from the script in favour of one that made his own character look good.
I'll give a little bit of credit to him though. He clearly did get in shape.
Well, he does, yeah.
He does look like he's very good.
Well, he does. That's for his own ego.
Very in shape for his over 50-year-old body.
It's impressive, but you have to remember, that scene wasn't in the original script. It was, however, in the script Tom Cruise himself had written.
So what else did the script writers that Cruise brought in do to the original script?
They made it more about him for a start and gave his character a more fleshed out arc that made him look better at the expense of obviously the mummy's arc, which doesn't really make sense in the movie title, The Fucking Mummy, but whatever. But I think the most petty thing they did is at several points in the script refer to Tom Cruise's character, Nick Morton, as a young man. Because if you think about it, there's no actual reason for that descriptor to be in the script, because at the time it was being written, they knew who the character was being played by. Tom Cruise, a 56-year-old man.
You are a younger man, but you'd best learn to be wary of a man like me.
And he was the only person with veto power over any details in it.
So that line from Russell Crowe about him being a young man, was that Tom Cruise?
Yeah, that's not Tom Cruise, that was Tom Cruise's script writers.
It was Tom.
Yes, it was. Of course it was fucking Tom Cruise. But,
Maybe not inadvertently, but they knew.
I don't think anything sums up how egomaniacal and petty Tom Cruise was. That not only did he have that line put into the movie, he had the script that people were reading refer to him several times as a young man.
I just think it's a shame because Tom Cruise, he's a great actor.
No, he's not. He's a great
Showman?
star. So he's not an actor. He plays Tom Cruise in all his movies now. Understandably, and partly as a result of all of Tom Cruise's executive level meddling, the film flopped. And now we don't have a Dark Universe, which is a shame. Because, as you're about to find out, myself and Brad have a lot of ideas for where it could have gone. We teased it earlier, so let's get straight into it. And behind me, Brad, bring up the cast photo for the Dark Universe. And I'm going to be honest, it's looking pretty fucking sparse, mate. It's going to get even sparser now, because the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the ones we don't want. We keep Javier Bardem and Sophia Boutella. The latter mostly because she never had a do, because Tom Cruise fucking basically kneecapped her chance to showcase what kind of mummy she'd have been. And we get rid of Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, and Russell Crowe. Who do we bring in to replace each of those characters?
I mean, the temptation was to leave Tom Cruise in there as the Invisible Man. Because think about his ego if you have to put him in a film where you can't
No,
be seen.
I've got plans for Tom Cruise, don't you worry. We're moving them as those three characters.
Right.
For the Tom Cruise character, the guy who hunts the mummy, we're bringing back Brendan Fraser.
Oh yeah.
And we're bringing him back, specifically as Rick O'Connor. We've talked before what we wanted, our idea for that movie would be bring in Rick O'Connor, Brendan Fraser, and say he is now Van Helsing. And Van Helsing is a mantle passed down for people who've proven themselves able to hunt supernatural threats.
Yeah, I think the concept we came up with was that his family had passed on. But he was now immortal until he was defeated, and then he would move on to pass with them.
Yeah.
So he's like a man at peace.
Yeah.
But also still badass.
Who do we get in for Russell Crowe's character? I believe it's Jekyll and Hyde.
You want the original book version where it's his personality that changes so drastically that people don't recognise him.
Yeah, people see him as a beast or a monster.
I can't think of an actor who can play both good and bad.
Well, I know
on
one.
a click.
And one who as well you can also get in for you need that MCU style humour. Jim Carrey. You might think I'm joking, Brad, but have you seen the film Me, Myself and Irene?
I have, yeah.
Have you seen what Jim Carrey does with that role? There are scenes in that movie where he acts against himself and the entire physical structure of his face changes as he has arguments. He can portray a character who is multiple characters at once. We've got a Jekyll and Hyde. Now we need a replacement for our Invisible Man. If you're going to go for the wink, wink, nudge, nudge casting, but also get an actor who's got some acting chops, I say go for Kevin Bacon.
As in Hollow Man.
Yeah, because then you can have the rest. Oh, he was Hollow Man, and now he's the Invisible Man. But obviously Kevin Bacon's a fucking good actor. So we've repopulated the universe, but now we need the actors who are going to play the other famous movie monsters. So let's start with the Wolfman. Who do we get to play the Wolfman?
I think their choice was Dwayne Johnson.
Well, you know what? He's my choice too. Fuck it. But you have to make him wear, we talked about before, a Halloween wolf mask. And in this cast photo, he's going to wear and that's the only costume he wears. Now we need our creature from the Black Lagoon.
Isn't that who Javier Bardem was going to be?
Was he playing the creature from the Black Lagoon?
I don't remember what he was there for.
You know what?
That's how badly established that universe.
In which case, Javier Bardem is the creature from the Black Lagoon. Let's go for, instead then, the Blob. But obviously, that can be a person who turns into the Blob. So who should we get in to just play this amorphous blob who doesn't do anything? You know what? Jennifer Lawrence. An actor who doesn't want to do anything, he's just happy to just turn up for the paycheck. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence can be the fucking Blob. There we go. We've got a Blob, but we're forgetting a heavy hitter of the monster cinematic universe, and that is Frankenstein in fucking self. And what take are we going to have on Frankenstein for this version of the Dark Universe?
Frankenstein's supposed to be an amalgamation of everything. They always make him tall.
I think one thing that's often left out of interpretations of the monster from Frankenstein, though, is that the monster is quite intelligent, both in terms of academically and emotionally. And it's quite a sensitive creature. So I think we need someone who's physically intimidating, imposing, but just has that emotional sensitivity where they can portray the full range of emotions that comes from being a creature that's just cobbled together against its will. There's only one actor I think can do it, that's Terry fucking Crews. Again, like Jim Carrey, you can switch from being nice Terry to bad Terry. What we need now is we need our bride, and I think we should do the casting that would set the internet aflame and get someone from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They're acting against each other once again. So who should we get in for that? Because I'm going to say the actress who plays Rosa, but only if she does her actual speaking voice. So I think that she's got the black hair, the curly black hair. Imagine that put up into the bouffant with the white stripe down it. We could pull it off, mate. We're also forgetting another heavy hitter of the monster universe, and that is Dracula, the fucking OG. So do you have any actors in mind who could realise Dracula?
The only one I'm thinking of, it's somebody who is they're attractive, but in sort of a classical way.
Yes.
And they've got a bit of an accent, sort of to make it seem like he's come from. Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, I think that could work.
I think they missed out on using him in the MCU.
Yeah.
By using him on such a small character.
That's a very strong casting because he has that hard to place European accent. And he just has like those piercing eyes and like, you know, the grey hair. Like, imagine that slick back in his hair like a fucking tuxedo.
So we got a pretty full cast now.
Yeah, it's not approaching like MCU levels, but it's a bit more respectable.
This is like phase 1.
Yes.
So you said earlier though you had an idea for Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, because remember Tom Cruise, like thanks to the nature of his contract, if they ever try and reboot or like revamp this universe, is that like contractually like, you know, obligated to be offered a role in all these upcoming movies, but I don't think his contract says he has to be Nick Morton, it just says he has to be offered a role. Bring him back as Dorian Gray and make him the overarching, make him the Thanos of that universe. Because who better to play Dorian Gray, the youth-obsessed egomaniac, where like he's trying to like, you know, do some bad shit and they have to track down the painting. That can be their version of the Infinity Stones. Like, every time he kills somebody, he gains their experience in life, like that Jet Li film, The One.
Right.
Where every time Jet Li, like, you kill an alternate version of yourself, you gain their power. And that's what the story is. It's like, oh, so how long has he been alive? Oh, we don't know. He's killed hundreds, but now he plans to kill millions so he can live forever. Turn the painting into a soul stone. And say the painting is where everyone's soul lives.
Yeah.
And every time we kill Dorian Gray, he just takes another soul. So the only way to rescue, like, you know, the souls he has trapped in reserve is to kill him. So put Tom Cruise in behind them, really giant.
Put a frame around him. He's the picture.
That'd be how you do it, yeah, the
Yeah.
frame behind him. Because that'd be the poster, wouldn't it? It'd be the picture frame with Tom Cruise there and all the actors like looking up at it or some shit. But that's a really cool idea.